Have you ever saved someone's life only to discover they're the most dangerous man in the city? That's exactly what happened to Maya Johnson on Christmas Eve. But before we get to her story, we need to understand his. The snow falls soft over Gangnam on Christmas Eve. Red lights blink slow along the street. Inside Club Azure, champagne flows like water. Outside, silence waits with sharp teeth. Jun-ho, whispered about in certain circles as the shadow of Gangnam, steps out, phone pressed to his ear. His leather gloves are spotless, for now. "I don't negotiate with ghosts," he says, voice low and clipped. The line goes dead. He slips the phone away, pulls out a silver lighter, engraved with a cross, his father's, the only clean thing he inherited. A memory flashes, his father pressing it into his 10-year-old hand. "Light conquers darkness, son. Remember that." Jun-ho hadn't remembered, not for 20 years. He lights a cigarette, the flame reflecting cold in his dark eyes. The lighter feels heavy tonight, accusatory. His driver, Jin, opens the car door, 23 years old, loyal, too loyal for his own good. The kid reminds Jun-ho of himself before the world taught him to stop caring. "You okay, boss?" Jin asks, genuine concern in his young voice. Jun-ho almost tells him to go home. Almost. "I'm fine, let's go." But he pauses. Something's wrong. The street's too empty, the air too still. Every instinct he's honed over 15 years screams danger. "Boss?" Jin's voice wavers now. Then, boom! The explosion tears through the night. Glass becomes shrapnel. Metal screams. The shockwave slams Jun-ho to the pavement. His ears ring like church bells mocking him. Vision blurs. Warmth spreads across his ribs. Blood, slick and fast. Jin's body lies 3 feet away. Eyes open, seeing nothing, never seeing anything again. The kid's phone is still in his hand, screen cracked but lit. A text message visible. "Mom, I'll be home for Christmas dinner. Promise." Jun-ho's chest constricts, not from the wound, from something worse. He drags himself forward, one hand pressed to his side. The snow beneath him turns crimson. His breath comes in gasps. He reaches for his phone. Fingers won't grip. Blood makes everything slippery. On the ground, half burned, a Christmas card flutters in the cold wind. Gold edges curling black. The words still legible. "To the shadow of Gangnam, Merry Christmas. Your past." He knows that handwriting. Sungmin, his former right-hand man. The brother who chose betrayal over loyalty. The brother Jun-ho humiliated 6 months ago in front of everyone who mattered. This is revenge, calculated, personal, deadly. His vision tunnels. The red club lights blur into dying stars. He thinks with strange calm, this is how it ends. Alone in the snow, on the night they celebrate miracles. No miracle for men like me. But somewhere, blocks away, a church bell begins to ring. 12 chimes, midnight, Christmas Day. And Jun-ho's story isn't finished. Not yet. 3 miles south, Hope Community Church stands small and stubborn against the soul cold. No neon here. Just string lights wound around the doorframe, flickering when the wind picks up. Inside, it smells like cinnamon, old hymnals, and simmering kimchi stew for the homeless shelter meal. Maya Johnson sets down another tray of rice bowls. Her hands are steady, even though she's been working since dawn. She's 24, but tonight she feels ancient, the kind of tired that lives in your bones. "Miss Maya, can I have seconds?" An older man, Mr. Park, holds out his bowl. Thin coat, no gloves, kind eyes despite his circumstances. She smiles warmly. Of course, sit tight. As she ladles more rice into his bowl, Mr. Park touches her hand gently. You're a good girl. Your mama would be proud. Maya's throat tightens. Her mother's been gone 5 years, but the ache stays fresh. Thank you, Mr. Park. That means a lot. Father Gabriel watches from the corner, folding donated blankets with practiced precision. He's 72, silver-haired, with the kind of face that's absorbed 1,000 confessions and kept them all sacred. You've been here since 6 this morning, he says gently. Go home. Rest. Maya shakes her head. I'm okay, Father. Just 1 more hour. But her feet ache. Her back aches. Her heart aches from the weight of everything she's carrying alone. 3 jobs. Medical bills stacking up like accusation letters. Eli's condition slowly worsening despite every prayer she whispers. Her phone buzzes. Video call, Eli. She steps into the narrow hallway, answers with a forced smile. Eli's face fills the screen, 19, pale but smiling that smile that breaks and mends her heart simultaneously. Maya, you still at church? Yeah, finishing up. She keeps her voice light as air. You take your medicine? He nods, then coughs, soft, wet, the sound that wakes her at 3 in the morning. I'm good. Mrs. Chen from next door brought soup. Thank God for Mrs. Chen. Maya makes a mental note to bake her cookies this weekend. How are you feeling, really? Eli's smile wavers, just for a second. Tired, but okay. The doctor called today. Maya's heart stops. And? He wants to see me next week, run some more tests. He tries to sound casual, fails, more tests, more bills, more impossible choices between rent and medicine. It'll be okay, she says firmly. More for herself than him. We'll figure it out. We always do. I know, you always take care of everything. His voice cracks slightly. I'm sorry you have to. Don't apologize for being sick, Eli. Never. I love you, sis. I love you too, so much. The call ends. Maya leans against the wall, just for a breath, just for 1 moment of not being strong. She lets herself feel it, the fear, the exhaustion, the crushing weight of responsibility. Her parents died and left her with a teenage brother and a mountain of grief. She dropped out of nursing school, took 3 jobs, stopped dreaming about her own future because survival took everything. But she straightens, smooths her apron, returns to serve. Because that's what she does. She shows up, she helps, she keeps going. That's when she hears it. A heavy thud at the front door. Desperate. Wrong. She freezes. Father Gabriel looks up, concern flickering across his weathered face. Maya moves first. She pushes the door open. A man collapses at her feet. Blood streaks his expensive coat. Cashmere, she notes absurdly. His face is ghost pale, lips tinged blue. His breathing rattles like dice in a cup. For 1 second, she hesitates. This man is clearly from a different world. Dangerous, connected to things she doesn't want to understand. But then she sees his eyes flutter open, lost, afraid, human. She drops to her knees. Father, call for an ambulance. Gabriel's already reaching for his phone. Maya presses both hands to the wound on the man's side. Blood seeps warm through her fingers. Too much, too fast. His eyes flutter open, dark, unfocused, ringed with something that might be regret. He tries to speak. Don't talk. You're safe now. Safe. The word tastes like a lie, even as she says it. He stares at her, really sees her, young, black, fearless in a way that doesn't make sense. For one impossible second, something shifts in his gaze. Confusion, recognition of something he thought was extinct. Mercy. His hand reaches up weakly, touches her wrist. The leather glove is soaked with blood. "Why?" he whispers. "Because you need help," she says simply. That's enough reason. Then his eyes close again. She doesn't know who he is, doesn't know what brought him here, but she knows this. He's bleeding on Christmas Eve, and she can help. So she does, because Maya Johnson was raised to see people, not problems, even when the person is soaked in blood and danger, even when helping might cost her everything. If you've ever chosen kindness when every instinct screamed run, this story's for you. Hit subscribe and let's see where mercy really leads. They pull him inside, leaving a crimson trail on the church's worn tile. Maya grabs the first aid kit from the supply closet. Bandages, antiseptic, surgical thread leftover from when Father Gabriel trained as a medic in the army decades ago. Her hands shake. She steadies them through sheer will. Father Gabriel kneels beside her, voice calm as prayer. Ambulance is 12 minutes out. He might not have 12 minutes. She peels back his coat. The wound's deep, shrapnel maybe, but not immediately fatal. Not if she's fast. She packs the wound with gauze, wraps it tight. His breathing evens, slightly. Junho's eyes snap open, sharper now, alert. He sees her face, young, steady. No fear where there should be terror. "Who are you?" His voice is gravel and smoke. "Maya, you're in a church. You're safe here." He almost laughs. Safe. The word is a ghost from childhood. "You don't know who I am. I know you're bleeding. That's enough for right now." He stares at her, really studies her face. She doesn't flinch, doesn't look away. Most people do when they figure out who he is. Most people run. She ties off the bandage with surprising efficiency. "You've done this before," he observes. "Nursing school, 2 years before I had to drop out." She doesn't elaborate. The bills, Eli, the impossible math of survival. "You should leave," Junho says quietly, "before they come looking for me." "Who's looking?" He doesn't answer, can't. That's when the first gunshot cracks the night. Pop. Maya flinches hard. Gabriel moves to the window, peers through the blinds. His face goes stone. 3 men outside, maybe 4, armed. Junho curses under his breath. He tries to sit up, winces hard. They followed the blood. Maya's heart hammers against her ribs. She looks at Father Gabriel. He nods toward the back hallway. "Choir room, now. Both of you." "Father, now, child." She helps Junho to his feet. He's heavy, leaning hard on her shoulder. They move fast down the narrow hallway, past the small sanctuary. The red votive candles flicker before the altar, casting dancing shadows. For 1 second, Maya sees the crucifix, arms open, face serene, and reflected in the glass behind, Junho's blood-streaked coat. Sin and salvation, side by side. They reach the choir room. She locks the door, lowers him onto a wooden bench. Outside, voices shout. Footsteps echo on tile. Junho leans his head back, eyes closed. "You should have left me in the snow." Maya sits across from him. "That's not how this works." "How what works?" "Faith, mercy, human decency. Take your pick." He opens his eyes, studies her with something like wonder. "You have no idea what I've done." "No," she admits, "but I know what you're doing right now. bleeding in a church, regretting something, that's a start. Silence stretches, then crash, breaking glass. They're inside the building. Junho's hand drifts to his coat. There's a weight there, a gun. Maya sees it. Her stomach drops. You can't, not here. They'll kill us both if I don't. Then we hide better. He looks at her like she's suggested flying. But she's already moving, opening a supply closet, choir robes, dusty hymnals, a wooden ladder. Not much, but enough. Get in. I'm not. Now. Something in her voice, command, not plea, cuts through his resistance. He listens. They crowd into the closet. The door clicks shut. Darkness wraps them. Her shoulder presses against his. She feels his heartbeat, fast, irregular. The choir room door slams open. Through the crack in the closet door, she sees them. 2 men, dark suits, guns drawn, speaking low, fast, hunting. One steps closer to the closet. Maya holds her breath. Junho's fingers tighten around the concealed weapon. Then Father Gabriel's voice cuts through from the hallway, loud, fearless. This is a house of God. You will leave now. The men hesitate. One laughs, sharp, cruel. The other argues, gesturing at the blood trail. But Gabriel doesn't move, doesn't blink, doesn't back down. After an eternity compressed into 90 seconds, they leave. Reluctant, angry. The front door slams. Maya exhales. Her whole body shakes now. Delayed reaction. Junho pushes the closet door open, peers out carefully. Empty. He just saved both of us, Junho says quietly. Something like awe colors his voice. Maya nods, can't speak yet. Her throat's too tight with relief and residual fear. They step out into the sanctuary. Gabriel waits by the altar, calm as stone. They'll be back, he says simply. You need to leave before dawn. Junho bows his head. It's slight, but deliberate. Respect from a man who gives none. Maya sinks onto a pew. Her hands won't stop trembling. Father, the people at the shelter tonight. Who was serving with us earlier? Gabriel's expression shifts. Sad, knowing. Mostly regulars, Mr. Park, Mrs. Choi. Oh, there was a young man. New face, quiet, polite. Said his name was Jin. He left around 10 o'clock. The air leaves Maya's lungs. Junho's jaw clenches. Muscles tighten under his torn shirt. Jin, his driver. The loyal young man who opened the car door. Dead in the snow now, because of him. Maya sees the look, recognizes it instantly. Guilt, the kind that carves you hollow. You knew him, she says softly, not a question. He worked for me. Pause. His voice cracks. He was 23 years old. The number hangs in the air, 23. Younger than Maya, barely older than Eli. I'm sorry, she whispers. Junho looks at her, confusion flickering. Why? You didn't kill him. No, but I see your face, and I'm still sorry for your loss. He doesn't know what to do with that. Kindness without transaction. Sympathy without judgment. It's a language he forgot existed. Outside, the snow keeps falling. Inside, 2 strangers sit in the house of God. And something, small, fragile, begins to shift. Midnight, the church bells ring. 12 slow, deliberate chimes echoing across empty Seoul streets. Maya stands by the back door, arms wrapped around herself against the cold. Junho's beside her, coat pulled tight despite the bandage beneath. We should go, he says. She nods, but neither moves. The snow outside is beautiful and deadly, like everything else tonight. Can I ask you something? Maya says. Go ahead. Why'd you come here? This church specifically? He's quiet for a long moment. Then, I didn't plan it. I just ran toward the light, the bells. This is where I ended up. Do you think that was accident or something else? Junho looks at her sharply. You think God led me here? I think, Maya says carefully, that sometimes when we're dying, we run toward the only light we can see. Whether that's God or desperation or just instinct, does it matter? He considers this. My father believed in divine intervention, said God puts people in your path when you need them most. What happened to your father? Junho's jaw tightens. He died, beaten to death over a debt he couldn't pay. I was 15, watched it happen, couldn't stop it. Maya's breath catches. I'm so sorry. He believed in mercy, forgiveness, turning the other cheek. Junho's voice hardens. And it got him killed, so I learned the opposite. Be harder, strike first, show no weakness. Is that working for you? He looks at her, really looks. I'm bleeding in a church on Christmas Eve. You tell me. She looks at him, really looks. He's maybe 30, handsome in that sharp, dangerous way, but his eyes carry shadows deeper than night. Eyes that have seen too much, done too much. Do you believe in God? She asks directly. He huffs softly. I believe in debts, consequences. I've got a ledger full of both. That's not what I asked. He meets her gaze directly. No, I don't believe in God. I stopped believing the night my father died praying. The honesty cuts through the cold air. But you kept his lighter, Maya observes. Junho pulls it out, studies the engraved cross. Yeah, I don't know why. Habit, maybe. Or hoping he was right and I was wrong. Maybe you already know the answer. Then why are you still here, with me? The question lands like a stone in still water. Because, Maya says slowly, I think you're standing at a crossroads. And I think you already know which path you want to take. You just need someone to believe you can walk it. You don't even know me. I know you tried to protect me in that closet. I know you cried when you learned about Jin. I know you're still here when you could have run. She pauses. That's enough for me to believe you're worth saving. Something breaks in his expression. Just for a second. Vulnerability he usually armors against. They step outside together. The cold hits clean and sharp. Maya shivers. Junho shrugs off his coat, drapes it over her shoulders before she can protest. I'm fine, she starts. Take it. Please, she does. It's warm. Smells like leather and smoke and expensive cologne she can't name. They walk through the snow. No destination, just movement to stay ahead of the danger. Thank you, Junho says finally. The words feel foreign, rusty from disuse. Maya glances at him. For what? For not running. Most people do when they figure out who I am. She's quiet for 3 steps. Then, I didn't save you because of who you are. I saved you because of who I am. The words hit harder than the explosion, harder than any bullet. They stop under a street light. Snow swirls around them, soft and relentless. The city sleeps. They're suspended in this moment. Outside time, outside consequence. I'm not a good man, Maya. His voice is low, honest. I've hurt people, made choices I can't undo. Built an empire on fear and violence. Maybe, she says carefully, but you're not dead, so maybe there's still time to choose differently. He stares at her, and for the first time in years, maybe ever, Junho feels something other than anger or cold control. He feels hope. It's terrifying. If I asked you to leave, he says slowly, to go home and forget you ever saw me, would you? Maya considers. Would you want me to? I should. But do you? He doesn't answer, because the truth is, no. Heaven help him, no. That's when the headlights appear. Black SUV, tinted windows, engine purring like a hunting cat. Junho's hand finds Maya's arm. Run, right now. But the doors open. 4 men step out, and leading them, Sungmin, Junho's former right-hand man, his brother once, before ambition and betrayal redrew every line. Junho, Sungmin's voice is smooth, cold, the kind of cold that comes from calculated cruelty. You're harder to kill than I expected. Junho steps in front of Maya. Pure instinct. This isn't her fight, Sungmin. Sungmin tilts his head, studying Maya like an insect under glass. You made it her fight when you bled on her church steps, and when you brought our world into hers. Let her go. This is between us. Why? Sungmin smiles, sharp, mirthless. So she can run to the police, tell them everything? About the organization, the operations, the names? He shakes his head slowly. No, she stays. She becomes leverage, or she becomes a message. The gun comes up, aimed at Maya's chest. Time fractures. Junho moves without thinking, shoves Maya hard to the right. She hits the snow. He pulls his own weapon, fires once. The shot cracks the silence. Sungmin ducks. His men scatter, returning fire. Junho grabs Maya's hand, yanks her up. Move! They run. Snow and gunfire and the sound of Maya's heartbeat thundering in her ears. They round a corner. Alley, narrow, dark. Junho pulls her behind a dumpster. Stay down, he gasps. Junho, stay down. Footsteps echo closer. Sungmin's voice carries through the cold. You can't run forever, brother. You know how this ends. Junho's jaw clenches. His hands, still in those blood-stained leather gloves, tighten around the gun. Maya watches him, sees the war in his eyes. Revenge versus mercy. Death versus redemption. You don't have to do this, she whispers urgently. He looks at her. Yes, I do. It's who I am. No. Her voice is firm. It's who you were. You can choose different. You don't understand? Then help me understand. The footsteps stop. Sungmin's waiting, listening in the darkness. Junho exhales slowly. When he speaks, his voice is barely audible. 6 months ago, Sungmin wanted to expand into harder substances. I said no. Too many kids getting hurt, families destroyed. He called me weak, said I'd lost my edge. Pause. So he went behind my back, made deals, used my name, and when I found out, he swallows hard. I cut him out, publicly, in front of everyone who mattered. You humiliated him, Maya says quietly. I destroyed his reputation, his future in the organization, and now he's destroying mine. Maya's quiet for a long moment. Then, what would Jin want you to do? The question lands like a blade between the ribs. Junho's eyes close. Jin, loyal, young, dead because Junho couldn't see the betrayal coming. I don't know, he whispers. Yes, you do. Sirens wail in the distance, getting closer fast. Sungmin curses. His men retreat, disappearing into the night like smoke. Junho and Maya stay hidden until the red and blue lights flash past. Then, silence. They emerge slowly. Maya's shaking now, full body tremors. Junho catches her before her knees give out. I've got you, he says quietly. And the strange thing is, she believes him. they make it back to the church as dawn threatens the horizon. Father Gabriel's waiting, wrapped in blankets, brewing tea. "Come," he says simply. "Sit." They do. The tea is hot, sweet. Maya wraps both hands around the cup, trying to absorb the warmth into her frozen fingers. "You have a choice," Gabriel says to Junho. "Keep running or stand still and face what's coming." "If I stand still, I'll probably die." "Perhaps, or perhaps you'll finally start living." Junho looks at Maya. She's watching him with those eyes, clear, steady, impossibly kind, despite everything she's witnessed tonight. "What do you think I should do?" he asks her. "I think," she says carefully, "that you're tired of running, and I think Jin would want you to stop." Junho's breath catches. He reaches into his coat, pulls out the silver lighter. His father's. The engraved cross catches the candlelight. "My father gave me this before he died," he says quietly. "Told me to choose light over darkness. I chose wrong." "So choose again," Maya says simply. He looks at the lighter, then at her, and for the first time in 10 years, Junho lets himself cry. 3 days pass. Junho stays hidden in the church basement. Maya brings food, changes his bandages, sits with him in the quiet moments. They talk, really talk. He tells her about growing up in Busan, poor, hungry, watching his father die from a debt he couldn't pay. About joining the organization at 16 because it was that or starve. About the first time he hurt someone and how frighteningly easy it became after that. "I told myself I was surviving," he says one evening, "that I didn't have a choice. But that was a lie. I always had a choice. I just picked the easy one." She tells him about Eli, about their parents dying in a car accident when she was 19, about dropping out of nursing school to work 3 jobs, about the choice between rent and medicine, and how she makes it every single month. "Sometimes I lie awake at night," she admits, "doing math in my head. If I skip groceries, I can afford his inhaler. If I work a double shift, I can pay the electric bill. It never quite adds up." "You're stronger than me," he says one night. "No, just different. You survived through power. I'm surviving through faith. Different paths, same desperation. You save people. I've spent years destroying them. You're here, aren't you? Choosing different. That's a start." He looks at her in the dim basement light. "Why are you doing this? Really? You could have let me bleed out, called the police, walked away." Maya's quiet for a moment. "My mama used to say that God puts people in your path for a reason. Sometimes you're the one who needs help. Sometimes you're the one who gives it. But either way, you show up." "Your mother sounds like my father." "Maybe they would have been friends." "Maybe," Junho says softly. "Maybe in a better world, our families would have known each other. We would have met differently." "We met the way we were supposed to," Maya says. "Everything else is just detail." On the 3rd night, Father Gabriel brings news. The police are investigating the explosion. "They know you're alive. They're looking." Junho nods grimly. "And Sungmin?" No word, but silence from a man like that is never good. On the 4th night, Christmas Eve again, exactly 1 week since the explosion, Sungmin makes his move. Maya's walking back from the pharmacy, Eli's prescription in a small paper bag. When the SUV pulls up beside her, she runs, but they're faster. Hands grab her roughly, she screams. A cloth covers her mouth, chemical, bitter. The last thing she thinks before darkness. "Eli, I'm sorry. I won't be there for your call tomorrow. The world goes dark. She wakes in a warehouse, cold, industrial, the smell of oil and rust heavy in the air. Her hands are zip-tied to a metal chair. Her head throbs. She blinks hard, trying to focus through the pain. Sungmin stands in front of her, smiling that terrible smile. Good, you're awake. Where am I? Her voice is hoarse. Doesn't matter. What matters is your friend, the shadow of Gangnam. He's going to come for you. Sungmin crouches down, meets her eyes. And when he does, I'll be waiting. You're using me as bait. Smart girl, I knew you were sharp the moment I saw you with him. Maya's heart races. She thinks of Eli, of her phone, dead now probably, of Junho, who'll blame himself for this. He won't come, she lies. He barely knows me. Sungmin laughs. You really think I'm that stupid? I've known Junho for 15 years. I've seen him with hundreds of people. He never looked at anyone the way he looked at you in that snow. He stands, paces. Love makes men weak, predictable, controllable. It's the only useful thing about it. You don't know what love is, Maya says quietly. Oh, I know exactly what it is. A liability, a weakness, and Junho's about to pay for it with his life. Maya tests the zip ties. Too tight. Her wrists are already raw. Why do you hate him so much? She asks, stalling for time. Sungmin's face hardens. Hate? I don't hate him. I pitied him. All that power, all that control, and he suddenly grows a conscience. Decides drugs are where he draws the line. He spits the words. He humiliated me, made me look weak in front of everyone. In our world, that's a death sentence. So you killed Jin instead. Jin was collateral, acceptable loss. He was 23 years old. He had a mother, a life. He chose his life when he chose to work for Junho. We all make choices, Maya, and we all pay for them. At the church, Junho finds her scarf on the ground, dropped. A small smear of blood on the white snow beside it. His world stops. Father Gabriel puts a hand on his shoulder. They took her. I know. If you go, it's a trap. I know that too. Junho picks up the scarf, holds it gently. The fabric still smells like her. Vanilla and hope and everything good he doesn't deserve. She saved me, he says quietly. Now I save her, even if it kills me, especially if it kills me. Gabriel nods slowly. Then go with God, my son. Junho almost smiles. I don't think he and I are on speaking terms. Perhaps it's time to change that. Junho pulls out his father's lighter, looks at the engraved cross. Dad, if you're up there, if you were right about all of it, help me save her, please. It's the first real prayer he's said in 15 years. The warehouse at midnight. Junho enters alone, no weapon visible, hands raised. Sungmin, his voice echoes through the empty space. I'm here, let her go. Sungmin emerges from the shadows, gun in hand. The shadow of Gangnam, unarmed, helpless, how the mighty fall. I'm the one you want, let the girl go. Why should I? Because this is between us, it always has been. Sungmin considers for a long, tense moment, then nods to his men. They drag Maya forward. She's bruised but alive, fighting. Junho, don't, she starts. He meets her eyes. It's okay, I promise. No, it's not. You don't have to. Yes, he says softly. I do, because you showed me what it means to choose someone else over yourself. Thank you for that gift. Maya's eyes fill with tears. This isn't a gift. This is you dying for me. Maybe, but maybe dying for something good is better than living for nothing. Sungmin raises his gun. aims at Junho's chest. Any last words? Junho looks at Maya one more time, smiles, small, sad, genuine. Tell my story better than I lived it. The gunshot cracks the night, but it doesn't come from Sungmin's weapon. It comes from the doorway. Police flood in, tactical unit, rifles raised, voices shouting commands. Someone tipped them off. Father Gabriel, Maya realizes. He called them after finding the scarf. Sungmin's men scatter. Chaos erupts. In the confusion, Sungmin grabs Maya, presses his gun to her temple. Nobody moves. Junho freezes. Blood drains from his face. Sungmin, please don't do this. Please? Sungmin laughs, high, unhinged. You beg now? The shadow of Gangnam begs? For her, yes. I'm begging you. Brother, I'm begging you. Maya's breath comes fast and shallow. The gun's cold against her skin. She can feel Sungmin shaking. Rage, fear, desperation all mixed together. I'm sorry, Junho says, and he means every word. For humiliating you, for cutting you out, for not seeing how much I hurt you. You were my brother, and I failed you. Sungmin's grip loosens, just slightly. You ruined my life. I know, and I'd spend the rest of mine making it right, but only if you let her go. She's innocent in all of this. Please, let her live. Silence stretches. Police wait, weapons trained. Everyone holds their breath. Then, Sungmin shoves Maya forward hard. She stumbles. Junho catches her, pulls her close. The police move in fast. Sungmin doesn't resist. The fight's gone out of him completely. As they cuff him, he looks at Junho one last time. You've gone soft. No, Junho says quietly, holding Maya tight. I've just remembered what it means to be human. Sungmin is led away into the cold night. The red and blue lights flash through the warehouse windows. Maya clings to Junho. He buries his face in her hair. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you got pulled into this. You came for me. Of course I did. Even though you knew it was a trap. Especially because it was a trap. She pulls back, looks at him directly. Why? Because somewhere between bleeding on your church steps and hiding in your choir room, I stopped wanting to just survive. I wanted to live, really live, with you, however long I have left. The police approach. Sir, we need statements from both of you. Junho nods. He knows what's coming. Arrest, trial, prison time. But he takes Maya's hand first, squeezes gently. Will you wait for me? She doesn't hesitate. Yes. I don't deserve that. Maybe not, but you're getting it anyway. Because that's what love does. It chooses, even when it doesn't make sense. He smiles through the pain, then turns to the police. I'm ready to cooperate fully. They cuff him gently, read his rights, lead him toward the door. Maya watches until the squad car disappears into the snowy night. Father Gabriel appears beside her, blanket in hand. He made his choice. Will he be okay? That depends on your definition of okay. He'll face justice, but he'll face it as a man, not a shadow. Maya nods. Her heart aches, but underneath, hope blooms. Because love isn't about perfection. It's about choosing someone, even when it costs you everything. 6 months later, Maya sits in a courtroom, 3rd row, same seat every day for 3 weeks straight. Junho stands trial for racketeering, organized crime involvement, and conspiracy. The evidence is overwhelming. He doesn't fight it, pleads guilty to most charges. His lawyer argues for leniency, full cooperation with authorities, information that helped shut down 3 trafficking rings. genuine remorse and transformation. The prosecutor argues he's dangerous and deserves the maximum sentence. Maya watches it all, takes notes, prays during every break. She's not the only one. Father Gabriel sits beside her most days. A few people from the church, even Mr. Park shows up once, nodding respectfully to her. "He saved us," Mr. Park whispers. "That night, when those men came, he saved all of us." Maya squeezes his weathered hand. On the final day, the judge asks if the defendant has anything to say before sentencing. Junho stands, looks at the gallery, finds Maya's eyes across the crowded room, takes a breath. "I don't expect forgiveness," he says. His voice carries, clear, strong, steady. "I don't deserve it. I've hurt people, destroyed families, profited from suffering. For years, I told myself it was survival. But that's a lie I told myself. I had choices. I made the wrong ones consistently." Pause. He glances at his hands, no gloves now, just skin and scars and truth. 6 months ago, I was bleeding in the snow on Christmas Eve. A young woman saved my life. She didn't know who I was, didn't care about my reputation or my power. She just saw someone in pain and chose mercy. His voice cracks slightly. She showed me what I'd forgotten, that there's still goodness in this world, and that even someone like me can choose differently. He looks at the judge directly. "I'll accept whatever sentence you give. I deserve it. But I want the record to show I'm not the same man who ran that organization. I'm trying to be better. And I'll spend every day I have left proving that transformation is real." The courtroom is silent. The judge deliberates for 2 hours, returns with the verdict: 12 years, eligible for parole in 8 with good behavior. Junho doesn't flinch, just nods, accepts it with dignity. As they lead him out and he passes Maya's row, their eyes meet across the aisle. "Thank you," he mouths silently. She nods, can't speak. Tears streak her face. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm with cameras and microphones. Maya pushes through, head down, no comment. A gentle hand catches her arm, Father Gabriel. "Come," he says softly, "let's go home." That night, Maya sits in the church basement, the same spot where Junho hid just months ago. She holds a letter he wrote before sentencing. She's read it 17 times, reads it again now. "Maya, I don't know if you'll wait. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. 12 years is a lifetime. You're 24. You should live, fall in love with someone good, someone who doesn't carry my kind of darkness. But if, somehow, you're still there when I get out, I'll spend every remaining day earning the gift you gave me. Not just life, but the chance to become worthy of it. Your brother's medical expenses are covered, fully, for as long as he needs care. It's not charity, it's debt. I owe you both more than money can ever repay. Thank you for seeing me when I couldn't see myself. Always, Junho." Maya folds the letter carefully, tucks it in her pocket close to her heart. Eli calls. "Hey sis, you okay?" "Yeah," her voice is steady. "Yeah, I am." "You sure? Because I saw the news and—" "I'm sure, Eli. How are you feeling today?" "Good, really good, actually. The doctor says my lungs are clearing up significantly. Said I might not need the oxygen machine soon." Maya closes her eyes. Relief floods through her. That's wonderful news. It's because of you, everything you did, all those years working yourself to the bone. His voice breaks. "I'm sorry I was such a burden." Eli, no, never say that. You're my brother. I love you. Taking care of you was never a burden. It was a privilege. They talk for 20 minutes about his classes, his new friend from therapy group, his plans to maybe go back to school, his growing interest in emergency medicine, normal things, beautiful, ordinary things. When she hangs up, Maya looks at the cross on the wall, the candles flickering soft and steady. I don't know if I'm strong enough for this, she whispers to the empty room. Father Gabriel's voice comes from the doorway. You are, because love isn't about being strong enough. It's about showing up, day after day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. What if he changes in there? What if he becomes someone else entirely? What if you both change? Growth isn't betrayal, Maya. It's the whole point of being human. We're all works in progress. She nods slowly, letting the truth sink in. I'm going to wait for him. I know you are. You think I'm foolish? Gabriel smiles warmly. I think you're following the most motivational force in the universe. Hope, the kind that transforms everything it touches. That's not foolish, that's faith. Real, living faith. What if it doesn't work out? What if it does? You can't live in fear of the future, child. You can only live in the faith of today. Maya starts visiting Junho in prison, once a month at first, then twice, then weekly when her work schedule allows. They talk through plexiglass, phones pressed to their ears, hands almost touching the barrier between them. He's different each time she sees him. Softer around the edges, but stronger in the core. He takes classes, anger management, literature, even theology. Starts mentoring younger inmates, tells them his story as a warning, not a blueprint for living. There's a kid here, he tells her on the 4th visit. 17, in for robbery. Keeps saying he didn't have a choice. What did you tell him? I told him that's what I said too, and look where it got me. Junho pauses. But I also told him it's not too late, that every day is a new choice. He's listening, I think. Maya smiles. You're making a difference. I'm trying, that's all I can do. I'm reading the Bible, he tells her on their 6th visit. Really? Really? Still don't know if I believe all of it. But some of it makes sense now. The parts about redemption, second chances, grace. Maya smiles. That's real progress. Because of you. No, because of you. I just held up a mirror so you could see yourself clearly. Their conversations deepen over the months. He asks about her life with genuine interest. She tells him she went back to nursing school, part-time, working at Hope Community Church's medical clinic, helping the homeless population Father Gabriel serves. You're still saving people, he observes. Trying to. Some days are better than others. That's all any of us can do. Try, show up, do better than yesterday. On their 12th visit, he tells her about writing to Jin's mother, how he confessed everything, sent money, not to buy forgiveness, but to acknowledge the debt he can never fully repay. She wrote back, he says quietly, voice thick with emotion. Said she forgives me, that Jin would have wanted that. That holding on to anger would just make his death mean nothing. Maya's eyes fill with tears. That's beautiful. That's grace. I don't deserve it. Stop saying that. You're not the same man who walked out of that club on Christmas Eve. You've done the work. You've genuinely changed. I see it. He looks at her through the scratched plexiglass, studies her face like he's trying to memorize every detail. Will you still be here in 8 years? When I'm eligible for parole, ask me again in 7 years, she says gently. But right now, today, yes, I'll be here. He closes his eyes. Relief washes over his face like rain. I love you, Maya Johnson. The words hang in the air between them, simple, true, earned through fire. I love you too, Junho. First time either has said it. First time it's completely real and unguarded. Around them, other inmates and visitors have their own conversations. Some crying, some laughing, all human, all complicated. When I get out, he says slowly, I want to do something that matters, maybe work with kids, keep them from making my mistakes. You will, Maya says with certainty. I know you will. How can you be so sure? Because I've seen you change. I've watched you become someone new. And that person is going to do incredible things. He smiles, really smiles. The shadows are fading from his eyes. 8 years later, Christmas Eve. Maya walks through Hope Community Church, carrying a box of winter coats donated by the community. She's 32 now, a registered nurse with her degree finally complete, runs the church clinic 3 days a week, living the life she always dreamed of. Eli's healthy, completely, miraculously healthy. Working as an EMT now, engaged to a wonderful woman named Grace. Life impossibly, beautifully is good. The church looks the same. String lights twinkling, cinnamon candles burning. Father Gabriel arranging flowers by the altar, slower now at 80 years old, but still steady and faithful. He sees her, smiles knowingly. He's outside. Her heart stops mid-beat. What? Go see for yourself. She sets the box down with trembling hands. She hasn't seen him in person for 6 months. Early release for exemplary behavior. They've written letters, had phone calls, but this. She steps outside into the cold. The snow's falling, soft, perfect, like that first night. And there, shoveling the church walkway with steady, purposeful strokes, is Junho. He's thinner, hair longer, touched with distinguished gray at the temples. But his face, it's peaceful. The shadows are gone, really gone. He looks up, sees her standing there. Time stops, neither speaks, neither moves. The snow falls between them like a curtain of grace. Then, slowly, Maya walks toward him. He sets the shovel down carefully. They stand 2 feet apart. The space between them electric with 8 years of letters and phone calls and waiting and faith. Hi, she says, voice barely above a whisper. Hi. You're out. 3 days ago, good behavior. Parole board said I was a model prisoner. He smiles, small, genuine, changed. Guess they didn't know I had the best reason in the world to behave. Maya's eyes fill. I missed you so much. I missed you too, every single day. He reaches out slowly, gives her time to pull away if she wants. She doesn't. His hand, warm, calloused from honest work, cups her cheek gently. She leans into it like coming home. You waited, he says, wonder coloring his voice. Of course I did. 8 years, Maya, you could've. Could've what? Stopped loving you? She shakes her head firmly. That's not how this works. Not for me, not for us. He pulls her close. She wraps her arms around him tight. They stand like that, snow dusting their shoulders, the world fading away. 8 years of separation melting in an instant. The church bells begin to chime. Midnight, Christmas, 12 slow, beautiful, perfect chimes. When they pull back slightly, Junho reaches into his coat, pulls out something small, wrapped in simple cloth. A ring, silver band, no diamond. Humble and honest. I bought this with my prison wages, he says. Took 4 years to save enough. It's not much, but it's earned honestly. Like everything I want us to be. Maya's breath catches in her throat. I can't promise you easy, he continues, voice steady and sure. I'm an ex-convict. I'll be on parole for 4 more years. I'm working construction, living in a halfway house. I'm still figuring out who I am outside those walls and that old life. Junho, but I can promise you truth, respect, equality. Every single day, choosing you, choosing us. Choosing the man you saw in me when I couldn't see it myself. He drops to one knee in the snow. Maya Johnson, will you marry me? The tears come now, full force, happy tears. Yes, God, yes, 1,000 times yes. He slides the ring on her finger with shaking hands, stands, kisses her, soft, reverent, like she's something sacred and precious. When they break apart, Father Gabriel's watching from the doorway, smiling that knowing smile, raising his hands in blessing. Behind him, Eli and Grace, clapping, laughing, crying happy tears. About time, Eli shouts joyfully. Maya laughs through her tears. Junho wraps an arm around her waist, pulls her close. Should we tell them the rest? He murmurs against her hair. Tell us what? Eli calls, walking toward them through the snow. Maya grins, holds up her hand. The simple silver ring catches the Christmas lights beautifully. Eli whoops. Grace claps. Father Gabriel raises his hands higher in blessing. They all go inside together, warmth and light and the smell of cinnamon tea brewing. Maya sits beside Junho on a wooden pew, their fingers intertwined, perfect fit. What happens now? She asks softly. Now, he kisses her temple gently. Now we build a life, slow, honest, together, one day at a time. Even though it'll be hard sometimes? Because it'll be hard, that's what makes it real. That's what makes it ours. Father Gabriel brings tea in chipped mugs. They toast to second chances, to love that waits, to Christmas miracles that don't announce themselves with trumpets, but with snow and silence, and 2 people choosing each other despite everything. Later, as they're preparing to leave, Maya pauses by the altar. The same red candles, the same crucifix she saw that first night. 8 years ago, she saw sin and salvation reflected there side by side. Now she just sees love, transformed, redeemed, real. Thank you, she whispers, to God, to the universe, to whatever force brought a bleeding man to her church door and gave them both a chance to become new. Outside, the snow falls soft and clean. Junho takes her hand in his. Ready to go home? Home. The word feels right, feels true. Yeah, let's go home. They walk through the snow together, past the spot where he collapsed, past the alley where they hid, past every place marked by fear and blood and danger. But those ghosts are quiet now, at peace. Because sometimes saving someone means letting them save you back. And sometimes a bloody Christmas becomes the beginning of something beautiful. Not perfect, but real. And real, Maya thinks as Junho squeezes her hand 3 times. Their signal for I love you is so much better than perfect. Real is earned. Real is chosen. Real is worth every single day of waiting. If this story reminded you that second chances are real, that love isn't about perfection, but about showing up day after day, even when it's hard, then share it, like it. Let someone else find hope here too, because every ending is a beginning. Every Christmas, even the bloody ones, can bloom into grace. Some people say the Mafia only knows violence, but this romance proved something else entirely. That even the darkest heart can thaw when touched by genuine love. That's the inspirational truth we all need sometimes. Thank you for listening. Thank you for believing. See you next time with another story about love that refuses to quit.